What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Jared. Y'all, today we're gonna be looking at a video from the channel of China Curious. It's probably one of these another AI. It's probably another AI video channel, but I want you to take a look at this because the way that this is going in China, especially with their dating market, they're starting to come after foreign men. And I believe in this video that there's several black guys in this video. But look at this.
In recent years, some Chinese women have shown a growing preference for dating foreign men, including black men, over local Chinese partners. This trend has sparked anger among certain segments of Chinese society, who view it as a rejection of traditional values or even a form of betrayal. However, love and attraction are personal decisions, and resentment toward interracial relationships highlights the need for greater openness in a rapidly changing China. Why do some girls prefer to date foreign guys? Maybe domestic guys are more traditional. Actually, I think foreign guys might be a bit different compared to local ones. Since I don't have a boyfriend myself, I just feel like foreign guys might be more gentlemanly.
中国女孩为什么喜欢
Why do Chinese girls like to marry foreigners? In recent years, why are Chinese girls increasingly favoring foreign men when it comes to love and marriage? What are the underlying reasons and main factors? First, appearance and charm win their hearts. Foreign men often have a more rugged, tall, and wild bloodline, thick body hair, full beards, and a stronger, more masculine aura. Combined with their humor and quirky charm, women are more likely to develop crushes on them. Second, better financial conditions and prospects. Most foreigners who come to China to study, work, or interact locally tend to have relatively strong financial backgrounds, promising careers, and future potential. Third, considerations for immigration, living abroad, and children's future education. Some see marriage to a foreigner as a pathway to settling overseas and providing better education and opportunities for their future children.
Now, I'm not saying what's going on in China is a bad thing. It's possibly a good thing because there's millions of those Chinese women over there that are single, and their men are not really dealing with them like that. So I'm gonna just say this: it possibly might be a good thing.
Fourth, cultural appeal and trends, romantic ideals play a role. For those learning English or other foreign languages, being with a foreigner makes communication and cultural exchange easier. There's also a fascination with foreign cultures and a yearning for a more diverse, novel lifestyle. Some desire mixed-race babies or exotic-looking children, driven partly by vanity. Dating a foreigner feels cool and impressive, earning admiration from others. The outsider is always perceived as superior, and curiosity can be irresistible, even if it leads to unexpected consequences.
为什么很多华人女性喜欢
Why do many Chinese women prefer to marry foreigners? I think besides the issue of residency status, some people also believe that foreigners are more attractive in terms of looks. But honestly, I don't think these are the most important reasons. Many people feel that foreigners place more emphasis on gender equality and are more dedicated to spending time with their families. Although we also value gender equality, most of the time it's just lip service. Once, while out with friends and our kids, I summarized a few observations. Chinese women abroad often end up raising children alone, just like single mothers. Their husbands are either always on the road driving trucks or doing some other job that keeps them away from home. Even on weekends when they're off, they're either out drinking with friends or lying in bed exhausted, scrolling on their phones all day. After playing with the kids for just a few minutes, they'll say, "Go find mommy." In contrast, in the US, it's more common to see foreign men taking care of their families. They may have their own careers, but they're still willing to put more effort into being present for their children's growth. For example, when we're at the park, we usually see men taking care of the kids. Sometimes foreign families will come to the park together, but from what I've observed, the mom is often dressed up nicely, sitting on the sidelines, while the dad is the one actively engaging with the kids. They rarely spend time taking photos with their phones. Instead, they focus on enjoying the moment. Last week, I took my child to the playground and even saw a foreign man looking after 6 kids by himself. I was utterly impressed. Moreover, living with a foreigner often means a more relaxed lifestyle. They never miss out on holiday traditions and celebrations. Meanwhile, for us hard-working folks abroad, who even has the energy to celebrate holidays? We're already drained by demanding jobs and monotonous daily routines. Of course, no matter the nationality, there are both responsible men and deadbeats. At the end of the day, a happy life depends on how you manage it yourself. Let's discuss in the comments, what are the pros and cons of marrying a foreigner? If it were you, which nationality would you choose? Personally, I'd still choose a Chinese partner. Because I believe sharing the same cultural background leads to better communication and understanding.
为什么好多女生
Why do so many girls prefer Western men, especially 5 years ago? Back then, no matter how mediocre many Western men were, when they came to our country or anywhere in East Asia, they could change girlfriends as if it cost them nothing.
That is insane. He even say even if they're mediocre, they still got a girl. That is wild. That's wild.
The reason is simple. In the eyes of many girls, Western men are like an upgraded version of the bad boy archetype. Women first project a fantasy persona onto you and then treat you based on that imagined persona. This is why players and heartbreakers spend so much time crafting their image. If your persona fits their fantasy, as long as you don't make a fatal mistake, they'll find ways to justify and forgive your behavior. For example, if an average guy holds her hand on the first date, she might feel offended. But if it's a bad boy or a Western guy doing the same thing, she'd interpret it differently. If he doesn't hold her hand on the first date, she might worry he's not interested and end up chasing him instead. If an average guy takes her to a casual local restaurant, she might think he's cheap or disrespectful. But if a bad boy or Western guy just takes her for milk tea and a walk down the street, she'd find it romantic and full of youthful charm.
I mean, is it fair? No. But does it happen? Yeah. I mean, is it fair? Maybe not. But here's the question. Are these girls really attracted to these men? And that's me being honest. Are they very much attracted to these men because of who these men and what they represent, especially the country they come from? Mediocre versus, I mean, obviously, if we go to that country, we can put in less effort because we're coming to their country, and you have to put in more because you're local. But they automatically think in their minds is this: you know what? He came all the way to my country. You know what? He could just take me for milk tea and do some stuff like this. You know what? Hell, shit, never mind.
In the past, many Western films and TV shows promoted white superiority, where any random white guy could travel somewhere else, save the world, and marry a princess. That's the power of cultural packaging, strong, dominant, and aspirational. Many girls watched these shows, believed the narrative, and fantasized about dating such men themselves.
So why is it that now when brothers go over there, that we can now find an Asian woman that actually likes us and sees us? Yeah, cultural packaging. You know, I can say that. But that man is salty as hell.
Chinese girls are throwing themselves at white men, and this is how Westerners actually see us. This is an invisible new form of racial discrimination. First, there was the case of a 37-year-old Ukrainian esports player, married with a family, who hooked up with a 21-year-old college student on their first date, then bragged about it in a fan group, posting photos of her eating chips for him. Then there was the foreign influencer who came to China, enjoyed free food, drinks, and fun, only to go live later and say that Chinese girls are easy to get, easy to hook, and easy to scam. Like a piece of Brazilian steak. At the end of the video, he even recommended Chinese girls to other foreigners, hot and easy, encouraging them to go for it without hesitation. Don't rush to blame the girls for lacking self-respect. In reality, all of this is essentially the result of a deliberate Western agenda. Just like the emasculation plan, the goal is to intensify gender conflict and increase social division. Overtly, they use movies and TV shows to portray Chinese men as short, petty, poor, incompetent, and weak. Covertly, they tarnish their reputation through so-called feminist rhetoric, exaggerating the proportion of overconfident, toxic men. Meanwhile, Hollywood blockbusters add a glamorous filter to white men, noble, rich, gentlemanly, respectful toward women, and so on. As early as 2016, a public intellectual posted on Weibo, "First-class women marry Europeans or Americans. Second-class women marry Japanese or Koreans. Third-class women marry men from Hong Kong or Macau. Fourth-class women marry mainland Chinese men. In short, marrying a white man seems like reaching the pinnacle of life, while marrying a Chinese man is the beginning of all misfortune. Chinese men aren't good enough for Chinese women." Under this subtle indoctrination, the most direct consequence has already emerged. Many girls become extremely picky when pursued by men from their own country. The house must be big enough, the car expensive enough, the dowry hefty enough, otherwise it means he doesn't love or value her. But for foreign men? No need for houses, cars, or dowries. Some even spend their own money to buy houses and cars to support a foreign man, and take pride in it. Vilifying Chinese men has become political correctness for many cultural workers.
And you know what? That's the reason why the Chinese government is limiting what comes in their system, what comes in and what goes out. That's the reason why. Because believe it or not, what she said is not entirely incorrect. It's actually really correct. The way that a lot of Western, the way that a lot of stuff in the West is portrayed is white men are superior and everybody else is lower tier. That's always how it's been. And now they're starting to see it because of what black people go through. Not saying it's entirely false, but it's the truth. A lot of people here, especially black women, they see black men as at the bottom of the barrel and see white men as the pinnacle. It's crazy. And the thing is like, what I want foreign women to understand is this. What foreign women to understand is this, and this only. When these men go over to their countries, these men are regular men in our country. Yes, we may have a little bit more money because of the cash transfer rate, all that bullshit. We know we make a lot more money than them. But here in our country, we're still regular men. Don't treat these men like they're celebrities. Because these men are regular guys. I mean, yes, we don't look like you. We understand that. But that doesn't mean that you should treat these men like they're gods. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's the truth. Treat these men with respect, yes. But don't disrespect your own men because you like these quality of guys. Because the only thing it does is it makes you look foolish and it makes you look insane. All I'm gonna say is this. I don't agree with treating white men like they're gods. I don't agree with treating black men like gods. But treat each man with respect instead of singling out, oh, he's a foreigner, I'm gonna treat him like gold. Or he's a white man, I'm gonna treat him like a king or some shit. Respect should be across the board. It shouldn't be just I'm gonna respect this person because of their status or because of the way they look. It shouldn't be like the period. Respect them because they're a human being. Because you want to be treated with respect. And the thing is, I've heard a lot of shit about the way that Chinese women treat Chinese men. And they treat them like they are fucking work animals. Them women don't give a fuck. Them women treat them guys like they're worthless. I've heard too many fucking stories about that shit. That shit is insane the way they treat them guys. But, anyways, like, share, subscribe, channel, support the podcast, and support.com. I'll catch y'all later. Bye, guys.